Hello and welcome to Supercharge Your Health and Wellness Business, the masterclass series for learning how to attract your ideal clients online, create a buzzworthy reputation and build a thriving practice. This is the place for advice and strategies that are going to take you towards growing a fully booked practice. I'm your host, Louise Manza, and today I'm really excited. We have the fabulous Angela Murphy. Welcome, Angela.
Yay, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Let me introduce this amazing woman to you. So, Angela is dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and businesses of all sizes streamline their message, create captivating content, and write the right words so that they can attract dream clients and get fully booked. Having been hired by top corporations, she's worked with over 100 businesses, large and small, in the past 10 plus years on their copywriting, messaging, and marketing strategy that's helped drive millions in sales. Wow.
Yes, yay.
So I know today we're going to be talking all about email and growing a sizzling email list, because that is crucial if you want to build your business online.
It is.
But before we jump into all that good stuff, can you tell us a bit about who you are and how you got to where you are today?
Yes. Well, for the past 10 plus years, I worked in corporate marketing. And what I realized that so many businesses need help with content marketing and messaging strategy and copy. So I wanted to help more people and touch more people. So I left corporate America and I started my consulting firm, JustPositionIt.
Awesome. How long ago was that?
That was about 2 years now.
Wow.
It's been 2 years, 2 great years. Yes.
And enjoying doing your own thing compared with your previous life?
Yes, much better, much more freedom. I'm a lot more happy. I'm able to service amazing clients. So yes, I'm really glad I finally made the transition.
Awesome. Fantastic. So we're going to talk all things email today. Now, as I said before, having an email list is crucial to growing a business, particularly online. But there are so many options when it comes to who to use for your email system. How do you go about choosing one? What should you look at? Do you look at budget? Do you look at like what flashy things they have? How do you choose?
So I usually advise my clients to look at 3 different things. So look at cost, and then look at capability, and then look at ease of use. So when you're looking at cost, well, what's your budget? So what's your monthly budget? What's your annual budget? How much do you really have to spend on an email system? And then capability. So if you're sending out emails from just you, one person, to the masses, there's plenty of options out there. You have MailChimp, you have Aweber, there's lots of different solutions. But if you're more of a sales organization and you need to send out emails from multiple people within an organization to multiple clients or prospects, then you need a different email system that has a more sophisticated capability. And then ease of use. So are you going to be using the email system just yourself? Will you be having someone else help you with the email system? So those are the 3 main things that I would ask my clients to think about.
So if I was a one-person solopreneur watching this,
yes.
And I'm just starting to dip my toe, I've heard I need to build a list, but I don't have anything at the moment. What would be like the first starting point that what would be like a couple of options that you would suggest looking at for?
So really start really simple. If you're just starting out, don't have a ton of budget, something like a MailChimp may work really well for you. And even a constant contact or an eye contact, those are really, really cost effective. And if you're just starting out, I would suggest one of those 3.
Yeah,
for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because I know that with MailChimp, it's free until you get to, I think it's 2,500 subscribers, I think.
Correct. You get tons of contacts for free. So, and I know a lot of people who use that. So yeah.
And so we've started, we've got our system.
Yes.
Now we have a blank email template staring back at us. What do we choose to write? How do we know what to say?
Yes. So one of the things that you should think about, you have to think about, is value. So you want to provide value to the people on your email list. And a simple way to think about this is think about the problem that you help your clients and customers solve. So if they need help losing weight, you could send things like, meal planning tips, or you could talk about mindset issues around weight loss, or you could talk about food tips that help support weight loss. So always think about the problem that you help them solve, and then build your email calendar from there, is what I would recommend.
And how often, do you have any recommendation about how often you should be emailing your list? Because I know when I've spoken to clients before about it, they go, oh, I hate getting loads of emails. I don't want to send loads of emails because I really don't like getting loads of emails.
Yes.
So do you have any advice on that?
So minimum once a week. You want to stay top of mind. There's so many distractions, social media, the news, everything. And email is still one of the best ways to grow your business and grow your sales. So I would recommend a minimum of once a week.
Awesome.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be really long each week? Do you have to be there going, do I need to write this and that and the other? Does it have to?
No, I mean, you can curate content from different places and say, you want to share something maybe that someone else has written to your list. You can write your own content. You can send maybe folks to a video. So there's lots of things that you can do, but at least touch them once a week, minimum once a week.
Awesome. And I like that idea about curating content.
Yes.
Just pulling things from other sources, so like an interesting article that you've read or an interesting podcast that you've listened to.
Yes.
So you don't have to constantly be creating your own churn.
Yes.
You can absolutely pull from other people.
Exactly.
And how can growing your email list become part of your overall marketing strategy? So if you're doing the other things, like you're doing your social media and you're maybe blogging on your website and all the other stuff, how can it become part of that?
So your email list should be at the center of everything that you do from a marketing perspective. And here's what I mean by that. So if you are blogging, like you just mentioned, at the end of that blog post, include a promotion to your freebie that requires an email address to obtain it, that maybe goes deeper on that topic that you just talked about in your blog topic. If you're posting on social media, go ahead and post your feel-good posts, maybe your funny posts, but always promote your free things that require an email address. And if you're speaking on a podcast, or if you're just speaking in general, have an opportunity to speak, make sure that at least you're always thinking about list building and you want to offer something, anything that helps you grow your list, particularly for an online business.
Awesome. And do you have any tips around kind of subject lines? Because I know that's the thing that you want to get so people click on it and they open it. Do you have any tips on that? Because our latest newsletter, not necessarily the most interesting subject line.
Okay.
I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Okay, so I actually have some notes here on this because I thought that this might come up, and I wanted to give you a couple of examples from my own email marketing experience to tell you about what I've seen work in my own business.
Awesome.
Okay? So there's three different strategies for at least email subject lines. The first one would be, focus on the problem. 2 would be use numbers. And the third would be try to pique people's curiosity. And here's what I mean. So when you're focusing on the problem, an email subject line that I wrote, it read, here's the real problem with your messaging. I got a 30% open rate on that subject line email, right? And then for using numbers, I mean, it's proven that, email subject lines with numbers have higher open rates. So I wrote a subject line that read, get 33% more yeses using this tactic. That got a 25% open rate, right? And then use curiosity, make people curious to want to click. So a subject line that I wrote was, changing 3 words resulted in the highest sales ever. That subject line got a 40% open rate.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. 3 words, you're like, oh, that's like a really quick win that I'm going to get there.
Exactly. And I would encourage whoever's watching this to use those as kind of your guidepost. Use that and insert your own different messaging related to your health and wellness business. So focus on the problem, use numbers, and get people curious to click.
That's a great tip. And yes. I love how you gave your open rate statistics there, because it can, when you start emailing and you realize that actually not everyone opens every email.
Unfortunately, they don't. Yeah.
Actually the average open rate is 20%, I think,
Yes.
isn't it?
And
So
even a little lower than that now, because we're seeing email rates drop a little bit. But yeah, if you got a 20%, you're doing well.
So anything, so anything above that, you're doing really well.
Yes.
So 40% is amazing.
Yes, it was. I was really happy to see that. So I try to use those 3 strategies for sure.
And can we talk a bit about from like the notes that I'm making? So what about, so we've mentioned about how promoting a freebie, like a free gift on a social media or at an event or a speaking gig, so you can get people onto your email list.
Yes.
Do you have any recommendations or advice on the types of emails that people should send out for like that first point, when they first hear from you, when they get that free gift? Do you have any pointers on that side of things?
Yes. So when someone first joins your email list, they're usually really happy to join your list and they're excited to get information from you. So I would say create a minimum of a 3 touch point email series. So if you're delivering a freebie, send them the welcome email that has the freebie inside of it or whatever they've downloaded, right? The second email, check on them and say, hey, are you loving what you downloaded? Tell me about an aha moment, reply directly to me. I read all of my emails. And then the third one, presumably you have something to sell, right? So maybe you can introduce, maybe do a soft push for whatever it is that you're selling to introduce that. Maybe you invite them to a webinar, or maybe you send them to a landing page. But when people first get on your list, you want to ping on them minimum once a week and kind of move them through a continuum to eventually buy from you.
I love it. That's such a good tip, because it's easy to write that first email where you say, hey, here's your thing,
and then do nothing more. Yes. Mm-hmm.
But you have to keep to build the relationship. You need to keep emailing. I love it. Thank you.
That's right.
And another thing that I just thought of when you were talking was, do you have any recommendations about like content and value giving emails versus sales emails versus here's my thing, here's what I'm selling, buy my thing, versus here's some information I can give that helps you? Do you have any advice about kind of what ratio you can give? Because it's easy to fall into just doing 100% of one or the other. It's easy to feel like you're just being a friend and giving information. Right. But some people also fall into, come to my class, book an appointment. So how do you balance those two?
Right. So you want to always provide value in your emails. And then it's always great practice to include in that email a link to some type of promotion, something, whether it's a free opt-in, whether it's a free class, whether it's to visit connect with you on Facebook. It's okay to provide value to people. And then maybe at the bottom of the email, maybe in the PS, to push them maybe to download a piece of content. And so, when you're launching something, or when you open a course or something like that, people on your list usually understand that you will at some point sell them something. So when you go into your launch, you don't have to be shy about sending emails. People are on your list for a reason, and they can always opt out if they want to. But if you're selling something that can provide value to them, they typically will want to stay on your list to see what you have to offer. So when you're not launching, add value at the end of your email. And when you're launching, go ahead and show them the full value of what it is that you can offer. So don't be shy when it comes to selling your offer.
Awesome. That's such good advice. Yeah, don't be shy. I love it, because it's quite easy to feel a bit like, oh, I don't want to be salesy, I don't want to be pushy, but people want to see what you have. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So what action steps could somebody take today to improving their emails, do you think?
So get help. I know a lot of folks don't like writing their own emails, which is okay. So if you don't not send emails to your list because you're procrastinating, because you don't like writing. Get the help from a copywriter. And even if you work with a copywriter for a short period of time until you feel more comfortable writing your own emails, get some help. And you can always survey your list. Ask your folks what they want to learn more about and deliver that value to them. And then if you do want to write your own emails, practice writing subject lines, practice writing your emails, and you will get better. If that's something that you want to do, if you want to write, not everyone does. And if you don't, get the help from a copywriter.
That's a great tip. Get the help, because done is better than perfect.
It is. You don't have to do everything yourself, and you don't have to be so hard on yourself. If you're like, I really don't like writing emails, just get help. Just ask for help.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you for everything that you've given us so far. I know that you've got a free gift to share with us. Could you tell us a bit about it?
Yes. So it's called Zero to Content Quick Start Toolkit. And it's meant to help you grow your email list. So it gives you tons of ideas of what to name your freebie or your free offer. It gives you over 50 ideas of what type of freebie you can offer. So should it be a worksheet or a swipe file or a checklist? And then there's also a special certificate in there if folks want to work directly with me to create their free offer.
Awesome. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And over 50 ideas, like, you're not going to get stuck. You can definitely, because if you're there thinking, I don't know what to give my free gift, it should, should it be a recipe plan? Should it be exercises? Should it be a ebook?
There's tons of ideas. You will not read Zero to Content Quick Start Toolkit and not walk away with an idea.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you so much for all your advice and the tips that you've given and your time today. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. And for those of you that are joining us, don't forget to hop on over to the Facebook group where I'll be there later this evening, dive into the details of everything that Angela's talked about. And there are also some competitions and prizes in there. So I will see you there. I know. And I will see you on the next masterclass.